Hello everyone, Mythic here, and welcome to another Lucium Total War mod preview. Today we're going to be previewing Lucium Expanded Bolivar's Revolution, because it is very close to release and we are excited to show off some of the early features for you guys, just to get you guys in the know about what's happening in the mod. So we're going to be running through a few things, like a few custom buildings. Obviously we have the normal Lucium buildings, which are already in Lucium and you guys probably are used to, like conscription and stuff like that. But we have a few custom buildings, new pictures for every building too, or most of them. And I'm going to be showing you guys a few of our new units as well. And also, I'm going to be showing you guys a little segment of the map. And before we get started, I'd like you guys to know that down in the description, you can vote which area you'd like to see next in the map reveal. If we do another one of these, I might do a few map reveal videos where I slowly review parts of the map to you guys. Which is very cool, I think, but, yeah, you guys can tell me what you want to see. Obviously, we're not going to show you any of the areas in the Fog of War, and if you notice any massive black bars in the side of the screen, it's probably because I'm blocking something from your guys' view, because we're trying to mimic the sense of discovery you had playing the, Americas DLC in, Base Medieval 2. So we're going to be trying to keep a few things hidden from you guys. Little deception. But yeah, let's hop in and look at the buildings. Sorry, excuse me. Before we get into the campaign, I want to talk about our factions real quick. So we have the Spanish Empire, we have the Portuguese Empire, we have the British West Indies, we have the Dutch Empire, the French Empire, Gran Colombia, the Brazilian Empire, the Republic of La Plata, the Republic of Paraguay, La Liga Federal, and the Republic of Chile, as well as the Mapuche. Now, when it comes to the Brazilian Empire, I just want to get this out of the way real quick. We have jumped the gun with the Brazilian Revolution because it didn't really happen until 1821. But we wanted people to be able to play as Brazil because we know how popular of a country it might be. So Brazil is here earlier than usual. This is our only alt history thing. Now let's go to the campaign. Alright everyone, welcome to the campaign map. As we can see, we are very zoomed in. I have blacked out the little mini-map in the bottom left. But, here you can see we've got some new pictures for things, and we've got a few new names like concrete roadways as opposed to urban roading. And we have a bunch of beautiful images thanks to Hasmufaza and Frozen Stag on the mod team. But if we are to go into the building browser, we can take a look at some of our custom buildings, such as sanitation, which has been redone to custom wells and large-scale water distribution. And we have supply buildings now, which allow for different upgrades. We have schools, which will change culture, because you have culture instead of religion. And we have the traveling bases, so you have a small bar, a traveler's checkpoint, traveler's dormitory, and explorer's headquarters. And of course, these are all done based on your decisions, so you can choose to legalize slavery, abolish slavery, and you can choose whether you want this colony to be a crown colony directly, or if you want it to have a bit of control. So each one of these will have certain buildings you can choose based on your decision-making process. So, for instance, if you go to abolition of slavery, you won't be able to make as many high-level farms, but you'll have much more happiness in your population, and depending on your faction, you might get special related units by abolishing slavery. Legalizing slavery will obviously allow you to make more money, while at the same time limiting your population growth and making people unhappy. Direct control is different. This will allow you to get better units recruited, so like you get better gunpowder troops with their experience, but much lowered happiness and a bit lowered growth. And obviously this gets less troops, but it's like if you have a very troublesome province, because distance to capital is very important in this, you can decide that and make a choice on if you want to allow them self-governance. But yeah, let's move into the units. Alright, so, welcome to our pre-battle unit selection. We're not going to fight the battle, but I just want to show you guys some of our units. Please ignore the fact that we don't have unit cards in the bottom right yet, the bottom of our screen. We're working on that, but so far we've just implemented most of the units. We're going to be taking a look at one faction a day, and if we keep doing the map reveals, we're also going to be doing the factions you guys want to see, their unit rosters. So, here we have the Spanish. They have the most fleshed out unit roster for the moment, as we're about a little more than halfway through making and adding units. But we've got the basic gun unit being the farmer spears. The farmer militia, sorry. The farmer spears are also a unit. This is your base unit, and then moving on second, you have a colonial garrison unit. these guys are going to be like your early to mid tier. Now, if you want to look at your real mid-tier units, and this is where we get into our Rise of the Eagles models. Again, shout out to Rise of the Eagles for letting us use those models. We have the Spanish infantry, as well as the Spanish veterans. So these are two really good units. These are going to be your solid mid-tier forces. And if we continue this way, we get our higher tier units, such as the Viceroyal Guard. These guys are pretty expensive, but they're also really good. And then you come back here to our Grenadiers, which is just basically the Grenadiers from base Lucium. Now, our one melee unit, we're really limiting how many melee units are in this mod. The base one is the Farmer Spears, which go with the Farmer Militia, and being a very base tier early unit, mainly for garrisons. But yeah, let's take a quick look at the cannons. So we've renamed the cannons and given models for these guys back here. So we have the 24-pounder cannon, followed up by the 12-pounder cannon, and then we have our little makeshift cannon. So this is a really cheap cannon. It's indigenous. Now, when it comes to these 12-pounders and 24-pounder cannons, obviously, you might have to import them directly from Europe, and so they're going to be expensive, but they're going to be pretty good. And yeah, let's move on to the cavalry, because we have some great cavalry models. Now, before we get into the rest of the cavalry, I want to mention there's a bit of a glitch here with the heavy horse, or the horse model. Depending on the terrain, they can either like stand really well or just stand really wonky. We're gonna try to fix it. I think we'll just have to see how it goes. It really doesn't affect them in motion. It only affects them when they're standing still. But yeah, we're gonna look at it. But as you can see, we've got our light lancers, and continuing on, we have heavy lancers, and it's really the heavy horse where the problem starts. We also have the European staff cavalry, so this is gonna be your general's bodyguard, and they are looking fine. And we've got our dragoons, so we have the light dragoons, again, no leg problems, but they've got their guns. They've got a little leopard skin at the top too. And if we go over here, we have the heavy horse, the heavy dragoons, and these guys are pretty good. Now, I did bring some of Bolivar's units, however, his roster is not finished. So that's going to conclude our unit roster look at, and we're going to go back to the map to do our little map review. Great, and welcome to the map. So this is everyone's really first look at the map. We're going to be taking a look around the Argentina region, especially the north, because the south is owned by the Mapuche, and that is blacked out. So you can see our little models real quick. These are new campaign models, and some of these are being brought to Lucium for 3.0. But here we've got Buenos Aires, as well as many other towns in the area. So as you can see, we have these rivers, a lot of stuff. Now this allows for some tactical decision making, because not everywhere along the river can be crossed. So you will have to make choices depending on how well you're protected. But for a lot of these lower flat area countries, not in Peru or around the rainforests, it's going to be open, so it's going to be a brawl. But here we have a bunch of towns. Now, we know that not every town is perfectly placed. Unfortunately, none of us live in South America, and we don't know much about it, but yeah, we've got a few of these beautiful places. If you come up here, you can see more. Paraguay, Asunción, Formosa, Reconquista, Concordia, Concepcion, and Parana. We have a bunch of these beautiful little towns, as well as these rivers. These are navigable rivers, and they are all over the map. They look a bit jagged, but they're pretty fun to play with. You can take ships up them. And over here we have the Uruguay region, which is controlled by Portugal at this time, but the Liga Federal is the early rendition of Uruguay, if you want to believe. So you can go all in this area. And these rivers go all the way up into Brazil, and you can go a lot of places with the rivers, as the map is big. So moving with your army is going to take a while, so sometimes it might be better to invest in a navy. However, at the same time, keep in mind, Portugal and Spain, they're going to have a monopoly on the fleets, so it's a risk-reward. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's it for our map review. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this early look at Lucium Total War Bolivar's Revolution. Like I said, we are going to be hosting a little poll in the comments on which area you guys want to see next. So you can just write in the comments, and I will take the one. In the comments, I'm going to give you the prompts as well, so you guys can choose between two. And then I'll be adding a faction along that will also be taking a look at their roster. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are excited for Lucium Total War Bolivars Expanded. Remember to join our Discord if you want to get some more early sneak peeks, and if you want to play in events. And yeah. Mythic out.